Hey Taurus, and welcome to your October reading. Your card in the Libra breakdown was the Eight of Earth. Skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic, and going back to school for some of you. There's a lot going on this week, this whole month, okay? It's going to go very quickly. Mercury retrograde ended yesterday. Your first card out is the Tower. Okay, so we're wasting no time. Okay, today is October 3rd. Mercury retrograde ended yesterday, and tomorrow on the 4th, we have the fourth square of Uranus and Saturn. We don't normally have 4 squares between these two planets within a year, but here we are in October, and for you Taurus risings, this is affecting you a lot. Okay, Uranus has been in your sign for a while. It's been in retrograde, and that retrograde lasts until mid-January. Okay, so a lot of the other signs, I chose to do the fixed signs first. I know I've done Gemini, but I wanted to get through the fixed signs because I feel like the pull from Scorpio season is like a magnet to y'all right now. And that's why this month is going to seem so fast. Okay, if you don't have your pace, if you don't have your footing, it can be messy, but look, it's okay. I'm not trying to induce panic on you. But your first card is the Tower, and clearly you've been working really hard towards something very diligently. I'm going to keep shuffling. But as far as this Uranus-Saturn square tomorrow, the first thing I want to tell you about that is your ability to maintain your peace when things outside of you are not peaceful, and the openness you are to change is your secret weapon this week, especially leading up to the full moon this weekend, but we'll get to that. Oh, did I have a card backwards? Four of Swords. And the Ace of Swords. Okay, yeah. You might not... Okay. I'm sorry. I like moisturized, and these cards are matte. As beautiful as they are, they kind of absorb my oils and lotions and things. So, and I just wiped them down completely before starting all these. And if you've never wiped down a tarot deck, you understand how patient you kind of have to be. Anyway, maybe that means something for you. Here we are. The Tower, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Swords. You may not have the strongest of boundaries right now, even if that's normally not a characteristic of you, Taurus, okay? Things are breaking down for this purpose of letting go. Letting go of things that we may not even know why we're holding on to, because it's been a state of chaos for a while. The North Node's been in your sign all year, and Uranus is just shaking things up. So this is where we are, okay? Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So let's talk about this for a moment before we move on. Sometimes I think people confuse letting go with getting rid of something. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Letting go and getting rid of something are often confused as interchangeable. Where do you feel a difference when I say letting go and getting rid of something? Do you feel the energetic difference between that? Okay, and sometimes we really need to define our terms, even if temporarily, just so we can get clear on those things, so that we're not allowing this infiltration of other people's energies and chaos affect us so deeply that we can't even really make time for ourselves or take care of ourselves in the proper way. Okay, some of you may be parents, some of you may just have a lot of responsibility right now. It's tensing you up, and there's a need to really open and trust that opening. Now, I understand that a lot of people who believe in spirituality and come to tarot readings for advice on these major transits or just when you're having a hard time, I understand that you can't just snap out of it in an instant. Like, you really can't. And like, that's okay. I'm not limiting you, like saying you can't, it's not possible. I'm saying somebody who's been through chaos over and over and over and just clenched off that life force that is you. You have to practice trust. You have to have some level of trust to unclench and flower. Okay, I'm sorry. I wanted a more gender neutral type of energy, but like, open up. Yeah, I mean, that is a feminine quality, and Taurus, you're ruled by Venus. So when you're closed off, you're really not allowing this fertile space for the deeper you to take root. Okay. And if those roots are being exposed to sunlight or not properly, the soil pH is wrong. Yeah, we got really into the details in Virgo season. And now we're like talking about it. Okay, we're in this whirlwind of Cardinal Libra, and your fixed earth energy, wherever your Taurus placement is. That fixed earth is needing to accept water, okay? Accept nourishment, and not necessarily expect a lot of harvest from like a dry, hardened field. Like, I'm thinking desert, something hard to even dig through. Because I see a lot of you have like hardened, and because you put these swords together, what is this? That's the Five of Swords, where we're maliciously just cutting people off left and right. And you might need to do that in some places, but you're not going to make the best decisions until you water yourself, nourish yourself a little better, okay? Make sure you're eating fresh food. Like, especially right now, I'm not trying to judge anyone's personal habits, but like, health right now, Taurus, is serious. Like, once you take your eyes off of your health, you're kind of, yeah, no. Let's move on. What's going on this weekend? We have a full moon in Aries. Okay, and again, for you Taurus risings, that's in your 12th house. It's a lot of 12th house activity. The day before, on the 8th, Pluto retrograde ends for a few months, about 6 months. And the day before that, on Friday the 7th, the sun is opposite Chiron. This week, with the square on the 4th, the sun and Chiron on the 7th, Pluto, like, all of this energy, you're going to use it as leverage, okay? All of the combustion, bubbling from this whatever situation, you're going to use that as sort of fuel, not as a foundation, not as that, but you're going to use that this week. Okay, we're still in the first week of October. You're going to use that as your turning point, right? Because you've been through this. You don't need any more of this. You've done this enough to start to really build something from it, but not off of it. Does that make sense? Let's talk about the sun and this full moon. There is a grand trine on top of all of this. Okay, so let's just talk about the full moon. When we have 12th house activity, when we have a light shining on our 12th house activity, it can be very revealing of where our energy is most invested. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups with my fingerprints. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse underneath the Ace of Swords, which tells me some of you need to own more of why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And it's not because it's your fault. Okay, I think the very first reading, well, not the very first, I started this channel years ago, but if you're still here, thank you. The first reading I'd done this year, one of the first ones for you, Taurus, was about the North Node and how blame, if not already, blame will no longer really be a part of your problems and things. Okay, I think that's been a theme for you more than necessary. And so yeah, that was early this year, and here we are. And so where we don't blame anymore, we find this reserve of energy that we can now use moving forward to have those instant manifestations, to have the power and conviction in our voices. Okay, because we know what does and what doesn't belong to us. This is an interesting combination right here. I think the extended for this is going to be really interesting, so stick around. I'll put the link in the box below for you. But there is a need to take some rest. And by rest, I don't just mean sleep. I'm talking about nourishment on all levels, the body, the mind, and connect to your spirit, going out in nature and just leaving room for you to trust. Okay. It's going to be a really good week also for therapy of any sort. Yeah, definitely. 5 of Wands. We can't, I wasn't kidding when I was talking about my hands being like oily and stuff from moisturizing. I'm sorry. I hope it doesn't bother you too much. What was I talking about? The opportunity for therapy of any kind. Okay. Some of the things that we're dealing with, that we're juggling, things that we're not sure how we can sustain much longer, and may be in fear of what's to come or what will happen if we don't, leaning more towards the negative side of it. I see some of you finding great benefit in finding an individual that is not biased, an individual that has no emotional or like personal involvement in anything of these Tower, 4 of Pentacles energy, and getting an honest, unbiased opinion. Because sometimes when we put too much on the people, like our friends, our family, like our relationships, whatever, we put too much of this on one person, of what you're feeling, of what you got to say, of what you're doing, of how busy, whatever. this conflict with the Five of Wands. A lot of this is financial stuff, either business partnerships or relationships where, yeah, this is just a lot of conflict. And you can't, whatever you've been doing, now is a time to try something new. Like something you've always wanted to do, try it, do it. Don't just talk about it, do it. No, I'm so serious, because there you are. You're not the Empress or the, yeah, we'll stick with Empress because you're Taurus and that's your card. So I think we'll get into the relationship stuff in the extended. And before we go here, I want to discuss the solar eclipse. Okay, this Libra season, like I said, is going quickly. The Sun and Venus move into Scorpio the day before the solar eclipse and new moon in Scorpio. Okay. You want to really give yourself the space between now and the 24th. The earlier, the better. I would just say this week. Like, if you can prioritize really nourishing yourself this week, I think it's going to put you on something you can sustain. Well, let's talk about the solar eclipse real quick. Yeah. Libra season's going to be a whirlwind of energy, okay? We're talking tornado on fixed earth, but what's happening is that pull towards Scorpio, and it can get slippery and just kind of emotional, intense. We need more than that. Five of Cups, yeah. You want to look closely at what makes you happy. Where can you express more gratitude? I don't mean to be so corny when I say that, but what little things are you overlooking? No, because Scorpio, I'm not corny. Scorpio is going to drag this out of you if you don't prepare for it. And it's not a presentation for anyone else. This is about you, Taurus. You and your relationship with yourself, okay? And then comes all the outer experiences, okay? Aligning the energy. Libra is about alignment. Libra is about relationships. And yeah, I think owning things is your most powerful thing this week. And then having a new way to go about the order of things, because things are predictable for you at this time. Like, they're predictable, but they're getting a little shaky, right? It's like predictably toxic for some of you. I'm just being honest. So, okay, we'll talk about this in the extended, but you want to just please take care of yourself, your health, all of the above before you entertain any of the nonsense around you, okay? You're working hard towards something, so let that energy be part of your leverage. Forward. Okay, I will see you in the extended. I hope this helped you in some way. I'm sorry about my fingerprints. I hope it doesn't bug you too much. Thank you for watching, Taurus, and I will see you in the extended right now.